What's up, everybody? I'm Zach. I'm just a simple chef, and today we're making easy mac and cheese. Alright, so with this mac and cheese, we're going to make a bechamel, which is a mother sauce. It seems crazy and intricate, but it's very simple. If you just think that the bechamel is a white roux and milk, that's it. So a roux is pretty much equal parts fat and equal parts flour. It's a thickener. So we're gonna make kind of like a semi-thick milk base that's seasoned with onions and clove and nutmeg. And then we're going to fold in shredded cheese to make a Mornay sauce or a cheddar sauce. And it's pretty much basics of a lot of sauces. That's why a bechamel is a mother sauce. So I'm gonna try my best to teach you and show you how pretty simple it is.
Milk, butter, flour, macaroni, onions, American cheese, medium cheddar, mild cheddar, cloves, nutmeg, herbs, thyme, rosemary, parsley, and panko breadcrumb.
Alright, so a rule of thumb is 1 tablespoon of butter to 1 tablespoon of flour will thicken 1 cup of milk, give or take. You can do 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of flour to make it even thicker. But we're gonna go with 1 tablespoon to 1 cup. So we're gonna do 2 cups of milk. And let's go ahead and get that on the stove because we're gonna simmer this with some onions and clove for probably 25-30 minutes. Just not too long. It could go longer while we boil some water and prep the cheese and get all of our meats and stuff ready to go.
All right, so we're gonna get 2 tablespoons of butter, a quarter of an onion. Make sure to peel the skin off. And then we're going to take our single clove and put it right into the onion. And this is going to add a lot of flavor. Now we're going to grab 2 cups of our milk. We want to make sure we measure it out. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to melt the butter on a low heat. You don't really want this boiling like I did. And then we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of the flour and we're going to mix and we're going to cook this for 45 seconds and we're going to keep it moving and we're going to slowly add in milk just a little bit at a time, work it into the roux, the flour and butter, because we don't want clumps. Go slow, work it in, go slow, work it in until you can slowly add in the rest of the milk. And until it's all gone and in the pot. This will prevent lumps. So here we go. Now we're going to add in our onion and clove. Make sure that it's upside down so that the clove is inside the liquid. And we're going to bring this to a slow simmer. Now we're going to get our water on and then we're going to prep our cheese. We're going to do a fine shredded cheddar. We're going to do the mild and the medium cheddar. Go ahead and set that aside. Now we're going to prep our herbs for our panko bread crust on our baked cheddar mac and cheese. So pull off the flowers from the stem, get some of the rosemary. We're going to go ahead and mince this as fine as we can with our knife. You can rock the blade back and forth. Try not to cut your fingertips. We're going to go ahead and cut off some of the parsley. And what we're going to do with the parsley is the same thing with the dry herbs. But we're going to wrap this in a paper towel and press it out to kind of pull out all the moisture as best we can so it can kind of dry up a little bit. And we don't want to stain the breadcrumbs or kind of just bleed green everywhere. That's what you see me doing here. Now we're going to melt butter for the breadcrumbs while we check on our bechamel. We can tell that it's almost there. We tasted it, seasoning it with salt, fresh cracked, I guess, microplaned nutmeg. We got our water boiling, so we're going to go ahead and add in a lot of salt. This water needs to be salty like the ocean. So here, add in our pasta to make sure it doesn't stick. You give it a good, like, swirl. Don't need to add oil to your water. Here are draining out our bechamel. Straining out. Toasting the breadcrumbs since the butter melted. Adding some seasoning.
I just want to say thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you want to stay tuned for more videos, hit the subscribe button and the little bell. It really helps me out. I appreciate all of you. If you have any questions, make sure to comment down below and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can.
Alright, so here we got the seasoned breadcrumbs. We're going to add in the herbs after we toast it, just for a little bit, just to kind of get it buttered up and moving in the pan. Want to get a little color to it. You can see the dog there is like, what are you doing? So toasted it just a little bit, and we're adding the parsley, the thyme, the rosemary. We're going to get that moving and toasted. We want a little color to it because it's not going to get enough color when we put it in the oven. Plus the butter makes this a great flavor to the aromatics of the herbs. So that's good. We're going to take that off. We're going to strain our pasta. We cooked it about al dente. We're going to let it drain. I don't like a wet pasta, so I let it sit for a little bit. Here, I'm checking on the bechamel, and I noticed that it's a little too thick, because I know when we add the cheese in, the cheese will thicken it even more. So we're going to fold in and melt American cheese. I know it's a little weird, but it helps to bind everything together. So I brought it up to a boil there. We're adding in the cheddar mild. I'm going to get that melted in. And we want to turn the heat down now because we don't want to burn the cheese to the bottom. We're going to keep everything moving in the pan. Now we're going to add the medium cheddar. Get that melted in there. Add in some more of the cheddar. Do it at a little bit at a time, right? So it doesn't clump. Now we're going to taste it. Make sure that it tastes good, it looks good, the color's good, it sits on the spoon very nicely. So add a little salt, fresh cracked pepper, whatever you want to do. So here I just add some salt. Now we're going to butter up a cast iron skillet so that it doesn't stick, even though we're putting a bunch of cheese and sauce. So here we're going to get our macaroni. And we're going to fold in our cheddar mornay sauce. Get it mixed into all the crevices of the pasta. Get it into the cast iron. We're going to add some more of the cheddar mornay over top. Then we're going to sprinkle some fresh shredded cheese. Going to make sure that it's covered. And so when it melts, it kind of keeps this crust, beautiful crust going. Now we're going to add in our breadcrumbs, and we're going to put this in the oven for like 15 minutes on a broil high setting. So you want it really hot. We're kind of just crusting the outside and the top. And there you have it. Beautiful cheddar baked mac and cheese.
Look at that. That's fire. Ooh. Oh my god. It's so good. It's a little hot. I'm not sure if you guys can. Oh, just amazing. And that's it. Cheddar mac and cheese.